and to relate to programs that were in process too, like Model Cities program, job training programs, housing programs. And so I learned about the needs. The first 6 months, by the way, I was in San Jose, because I was trying to help organize the school of social work, and then I was at Max. But the first 6 months I spent going to every meeting there was that impacted or had something to do with the Chicano community. School board meetings, city council meetings, board of supervisors, water meetings, whatever. And I just went to listen. I listened a lot. And I listened to people, and I learned to pick out who were the talkers, who were the obvious leaders, but who were the informal leaders, which is what organizers have to know about. And what did they say to each other when they went off to these breaks and groups started forming? And so my training in understanding group dynamics came in handy. And the communications, understanding how people communicated, understanding what information people got, how it was used. And that was all valuable, because when I went back to teach it subsequently to the School of Social Work, but also I got to working with some of the Chicano groups that were part of Cesar Chavez's causa, like Chino Vasquez out in Gilroy. And I helped them get funding when I was at MAXA for developing greenhouse co-ops in there and in Morgan Hill. So what I'm saying is that I had to formulate relationships with key people in the barrio, in the school settings, in the corporate settings, and in the political settings, so that they learned to trust me, and I would learn how much to trust them. And that was a strength I brought from Phoenix, because I learned how to work with the power structure types there, as well with the kids in school, and the blacks and Chicano kids who were having conflicts, and the parents. So those were the experiences and skills I brought in. And I think they were recognized, especially by a guy like Jose Carrasco at the time, but also by a guy like the school superintendent, Chuck Knight, and also Bert Burns, who was the academic vice president, acting president. And I, because of my relationships, what I'm saying, I was able to share information and communicate to them where programs stood, what resources we needed, and why it was important for them to advocate in our behalf. And that's where also the women thing came in, because I learned, I could see where the women were getting into positions of power. And I says, I better learn how to relate to them, because we're going to need them down the line.
Tell me, give us some names of the women you're talking about.
I'm talking about, well, later on, Gail Fullerton became president of the university. And when I returned to, well, it was Armand that came to me after I'd been in MAXA almost 6 years, and said to me, Jose, he took me out for coffee or lunch, I forget what. He said, we have a position we need at the university that maybe you could look at.